Hello people, this is Sonali, the Melodramatic Bookworm. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to the Melodramatic Bookworm family. I'm here today with my November 2021 TBR, and if you've seen the thumbnail to this video, which you have obviously, you will see that I have gone back to my habit of overestimating myself by picking more books than I can actually read. There are a lot of books. I think the number is about 18, and these books contain books that I have brought in from October, and one I think even a couple even from September, and some that I really want to read and some that I have to read because I'm doing a video, like it's a yearly tradition kind of thing, the JCB prize video, and I don't know if I will be able to get to all of them, but consider this as a TBR pool. Yeah, I just came up with it, but I think that will make me feel better and I won't be beating myself up over it. But yeah, without any further ado, let's dive right into this video and let me share with you all the books that I really want to read in November 2021, but I don't know if I will be able to get to them, but I really want to read them. The first three books are books that I brought in from September and October. From September, I brought in two books. The first one is the subscriber pick for the month of September, which is Remnants of a Separation. I'm about 200 pages in and I'm loving this book. I'm having trouble keeping myself sane and not breaking down, and maybe that's why I am not finding it in myself to pick this book up and read forward, because there's so much pain in here, pain related to the partition and how people struggled with it and are still struggling with the memories through remnants, like tangible remnants of what they brought over during the partition or what they took over to Pakistan during that time. But this needs a lot of time, energy, and I wouldn't say patience, but you need to be in the right frame of mind to read it, because it's such a gut punch. My god, I'm just halfway through, but I will still highly recommend Remnants of a Separation by Aanchal Malhotra, because it's such an important book in learning about our own past. The next book that I brought in from September was Midnight Sun by Stephenie Meyer. This is Twilight told in Edward's perspective, and I picked this up on a complete whim, and I'm finding it to be super draggy and super creepy as well, because there's a lot of Edward's thoughts where he's going, oh, I'm going to go and watch Bella sleep, which is like, oh, very cringe. But also, you know, the other side of the story, and I did enjoy Twilight, and I'm very conflicted about it. I'm about 40% in right now. I'm reading it on my Kindle. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I'll finish it this month or not, but I'm hoping I will. The book that I brought in from October was The Places I've Cried in Public by Holly Bone. October was a bad month for me in a few ways, and this is a book that just triggered me so much. I got through about 140 pages and I was like, nope, I can't read this. The main character, who the main character is crying over, is such a huge a-hole. Oh my god, I just wanted to jump into the pages and punch him. I mean, that was one of the reasons, but there's so much mistreatment of the main character. I mean, it's literally like you can count it as emotional abuse. And at the point that I was in, I was like, I can't take this. It's too much for me. But maybe I will be able to handle this book in November, and maybe I will be able to finish it. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I end up not tearing the book to pieces. Next up are the books that I want to read for the JCB prize prediction video, and I've already finished reading one book of the 5, and the book that I finished reading on Monday night, which was 1st of November, was Name Place Animal Thing by Dariba Lindem, and it's great. Like, I really loved it. I can't wait for you to watch that video to find out what I thought about it. But in short, this is about a young Khasi woman in Meghalaya and her life, her experiences, and her observations about the political happenings around her, about interclass things, intra-class things, intercaste things around her that she observes, and she is talking about in a very innocent manner, but it's very hard-hitting. And I wouldn't say enjoyed it, because there's much more to the book than just that. Look at the name, and it just spells nostalgia. And yeah, I would definitely recommend it, and I'm really happy that I got to finish that book. The next book that I want to read for the JCB Prize prediction video is Gods and Ends by Lindsay Pereira. This follows the life of a 14-year-old girl who wants something from life, but that is not what her parents want. I think that's not what her father wants for her. And this is set in suburban Bombay. This follows the lives of Christian people living in that parish, and how circumstances and sins and thoughts and everything shaped their lives over there. That's what this book follows. I have heard nothing but good things about this book. Honestly, one of my subscribers, she has been telling me to read this for a long time, and I'm only now getting to it. So thank you for that push. And yeah, I will be reading this and reviewing this in that JCB video, which will most likely go up next week. So stay tuned for that. Next is Delhi, a soliloquy written originally in Malayalam by M. Mukundan. It was written as Delhi Gathakal, if I'm not mistaken. And it was translated into English by Fatima KV and Nandakumar K. This is set in 1960s when the Malayali community is just setting down roots and in Delhi. After that, there's this whole situation where China now declares war on India, and during this time, how the lives of all these people are thrown up into the air. And even if I was not making this video, I probably would have picked this up because of how interesting it sounds. This was originally written in Malayalam in 2011, but it's now translated into English, and I'm really looking forward to it. Next is Anti-Clock by VJ James. This is a story of a coffin maker who wants to take revenge on his nemesis who had defiled his beloved, and he comes in contact with a 112-year-old watchmaker who has, now made a clock that can turn back time. It's called the Anti-Clock, and it can turn back time. And this is the whole premise of the story, and I find it so intriguing. I mean, this watchmaker is part of Subhash Chandra Bose's army, and he is making this clock for them. And now this coffin maker, who's called Henry, I think, he is trying to get his hands on it. It's a lot, but it sounds so intriguing. I don't have anything else to say. Like, I feel like I've repeated myself. Last in the JCB Prize shortlist that I want to read in November, I mean in a week or so, is The Plague Upon Us by Shabir Ahmed Mir. This is a story set in Kashmir, and how a plague of blindness is spreading through the people of Kashmir, and how injustices and people being driven from their home form this whole tragedy. I only know this much about this book, and I already feel like it's going to become a heartbreaker. It sounds like such a deep, intense book, and I don't know if I should be reading it in such a hurry because I need time to process it and all. But either way, I'm really looking forward to it, and I really want to find out what it is that makes this book so well loved. I don't want to generalize it, but I've seen good reviews of this book everywhere. Next up are 5 books that I want to read for Nonfiction November, but I know I won't be able to get through all of them. So I would be happy if I read even 2 of these books, and I'm not going to beat myself up over it. That's character growth, perhaps. I don't know. But the first book in this lot is Humankind, A Hopeful History by Rutger Bregman. After reading Sapiens, I'm really intrigued by anything that talks about humankind and history, and promises to give me a new perspective on what humans have been like. So I flipped through it, and one of the chapters were titled The Best Remedy for Hate, Injustice and Prejudice, and I'm already sold. Like, I'm not keeping my expectations over here, but I somehow have a feeling that this is going to be one that I will like, if not love. So maybe let's go in with that positive attitude, perhaps. Next up is Invictus, The Jungle That Made Me by Nidhi Sharma. This is based on the experiences, a true account of an extraordinary adventure of Nidhi Sharma and a few other children who were stuck in a jungle, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I was really intrigued when I read the blurb for the first time, and I'm really not sad, but a little disappointed that I haven't gotten to this earlier, but and also this is a like comparatively thin book, so maybe I can get through this. Maybe this will be one of those 2 books that I actually end up reading. So yeah, this is another book on my November TBR. And then there is a book that I have been adding to multiple TBRs of mine, and I still haven't gotten to it, and I'm hoping that I get to it this time because I really need it, especially during this time. I said this at that time also, but given how October has gone, I need this to help me make time. How to Focus on What Matters Every Day by Jake Knapp and John Zeratsky. And I promise I will read this. Pakka. Because I'm so desperate at this moment to actually streamline my days and to make them into something that I can handle every single day and not lose my shit every time I wake up, and when I recollect the 10,000 different things that I have to do. Overworking is not good, so maybe prioritizing will be a good way to move forward, and maybe this book will help me with that. And I have heard that this is a really great book also, so I'm not having any expectations, or rather I'm having way too many expectations from this book, and I'm hoping that it will help me, so fingers crossed. Next up is Queeristan by Parmesh Shahani. This is about LGBTQ inclusion in the Indian workplace. This is a non-fiction book. Obviously, I'm including it in non-fiction November, and I've heard good things about it. Not great things. One of my friends actually said that you could get a Kindle version of this book, but I was getting it at a very cheap price, so I thought, why not? Why not get a hardcover of this? And yeah, this I will be reading and reviewing for Writer's Melon, and I am really intrigued. I've been intrigued with this book for a long time. I had my eye on this. It was on my wish list. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this. Okay, so this is also a book that I will read for non-fiction November because I have to review it. Last for non-fiction November is Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. This is like, I've kept it as a buffer kind of thing, but I really want to read this. I've heard very good things about this. This is the founder of Nike, and his exponential growth and the way his business began to boom. This is what this book is about, and I'm really looking forward to it because there are nothing but glowing reviews of this, as well as the fact that there's so much to learn as well from this from Phil Knight's story. If everything goes well, then I might end up reading this. If not, no harm done. There's always going to be another time when I can read it. The next book is another that I will be reading and reviewing for Writer's Melon, and that is Clara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro. This was, I think, longlisted for the Booker Prize 2021, and I'm like, this would be the first Kazuo Ishiguro if I end up finishing this. I'm hoping I end up finishing this and actually finishing that review. But this is the story of Clara, an artificial friend with an outstanding observational qualities, who watches carefully the behavior of those who come in to browse and of those who pass in the street outside. She remains hopeful a customer will soon choose her, but when the possibility emerges that her circumstances may change forever, Clara is warned not to invest too much in the promises of humans. In Clara and the Sun, Kazuo Ishiguro looks at our rapidly changing modern world through the eyes of an unforgettable narrator to explore a fundamental question: what does it mean to love? Kazuo Ishiguro asking all the existential questions and talking about technology and friends. Yeah, this is another that I will be reading this month. Hopefully. These last 4 books on my November 2021 TBR are books that I want to read before the end of 2021. Like, they were on that list, the video that I made. If you would like to go check that out, link here as well as in the description box below. The first book among these 4 books is Men Explain Things to Me by Rebecca Solnit. I have already started listening to it, and I'm really liking it so far. I wouldn't say that it's very groundbreaking, like one of my friends told me, that like she told me not to expect a lot of it. But other than that, I like what she's trying to say about how men try to explain things to women because they think they are the authority and they think they know everything, even when the woman in question is expert in her own field. Like, it's very short, the book. Like I think the audiobook is like 2 hours 57 minutes or something, total of 3 hours, and I listened to it on a minimum of 1.5. So this is one book that I think I will definitely finish this month. So that's another for nonfiction November as well. Next is A Boy Called Christmas by Matt Haig. I'll be reading this book because the movie for this book is releasing on 26th, I think, and I'm so excited. This is the story of Father Christmas, and it's Matt Haig writing, and that's all I'm going to say because I love Matt Haig. Matt Haig is one of the sanest, the warmest human beings you will ever come across, and that's another reason why I love his books so much. And this is something that I'm really excited to read. I really want to get started right away, but maybe I should wait until the day of release nears, so that the story will be fresh in my mind. Next is Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas. I feel like I have spoken about this book everywhere. This is about Maverick Carter, who is the father of Star from The Hate U Give, and about his life. There's drug lords, and there's experiences about black people. And this was one of the first 2021 releases that I bought, but I still haven't gotten around to reading it. I'm hoping that November will be the month in which I actually end up reading this, because Angie Thomas is one of my favorite authors of all time, and to not have read this already is a crime. So I'm just hoping, keeping my fingers crossed, but I know that Angie Thomas's writing is easy to read, so maybe that will be a push forward either way. So yeah, fingers crossed. The last book on my November 2021 TBR is The Authenticity Project by Claire Pulley, and this I've heard glowing reviews of from a lot of people. This was a birthday gift, and Sweta from Booksqueaks on Instagram, she also highly recommended this, and I was like, yes, I'm going to prioritize this. And it's been like 1.5 months since that conversation happened, and I still haven't picked this up because October went by in such a mad haze. But this is also on the 15 books I want to read before the end of 2021 list, so maybe this will be a good time to read it. Julian Jessup is tired of hiding the deep loneliness he feels, so he begins the Authenticity Project, a small green notebook containing the truth about his life. Leaving the notebook on a table in his friendly neighborhood cafe, Julian never expects Monica, the owner, to track him down after finding it, or that she'll be inspired to write down her own story. Little do they realize that such small acts of honesty hold the power to impact all those who discover the notebook and change their lives completely. And something like this is happening in India as well, and I'm so happy. It makes me feel so warm and fuzzy inside. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Like I've said this in a couple of my videos, like my book haul video, my most recent book haul video, as well as the 15 books I want to read before the end of 2021 list. So yeah. So those were all the books that I want to read in November 2021. I mean, there's a lot of that, so I won't be holding up the stack like I usually do. But those are all the books that I want to read this month. Which of these have you read? Which ones do you want to read? Which ones did you like? Which ones did you not like? What books are you reading this November for nonfiction November? Are you reading any of the JCB Prize books? Will you be going ahead and adding any of these books to your TBR or wish list or what? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you like this video, please like it and share it to spread the word. And if you like my content and would like to see more from me, don't forget to hit subscribe and click on the bell icon beside the subscribe button to get notified as and when I post new videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, keep reading, keep watching, and add melodrama to your life.